Hey guys, so today we are going to be starting the chemistry unit of grade 10 science. So just if I haven't talked about it a lot yet, we're going to be doing chemistry, then biology, then physics, and then some environmental science stuff. Okay, so let's get into your first lesson of chemistry, which is going to be a lot of review of stuff that you did in grade 9. So we're going to start this lesson by reviewing different particles, substances, and mixtures. So for this, you need to understand what the particle theory is. You need to know what the different states of matter are and how they behave. And then lastly, you have to differentiate between mixtures and solutions. So for a definition of matter, matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. And there are 5 main principles that summarize everything that we know about matter. Those 5 principles are summarized by the particle theory of matter. They state that all matter is made up of tiny particles with empty spaces between them, that different substances are made up of different kinds of particles, that particles are in constant random motion, that as temperature increases, the speed of the particles will increase, and that particles are attracted to one another. We have technically more than 3 states of matter, but you only have to know about 3 states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. Solids have the strongest attraction between molecules, which means that molecule movement, or the particle movement, is really limited. That is what allows solids to maintain a constant shape and a constant volume. Liquids have particles that have some attraction, but the attraction is weak enough that they can still kind of slide past one another. So the particles will maintain a constant volume, but not a constant shape. And then gases have very weak attraction between the particles. That allows for a lot of movement between the particles. The particles can fly apart from one another. It allows them to change not only their shape, but also their volume. So you can condense gases, but they can also diffuse and spread out to fill an entire room. So obviously, this is just what that would look like. So solids have a constant shape, again, because of that high level of attraction between the particles. Liquids have less of a force of attraction, which allows them to take the shape of any container that they're in, but not necessarily fill the container, since their volume is constant. And then gases can change to fit the shape of the container and also fill the container, since their volume is not constant. Okay, a couple definitions again. So a pure substance is any type of matter that is made up of one type of particle. So that could be any element. So anything that you see on the periodic table would be a pure substance, but it could also be a compound. So for example, carbon dioxide, or CO2, is a pure substance. If you had just a canister of pure oxygen, O2, if you had some distilled water, so H2O with nothing but H2O molecules, all of those are pure substances. Mixtures will contain more than one type of particle. So for example, tap water that contains not only H2O molecules, but also dissolved salts and dissolved minerals, that would be a mixture. Mixtures can be solid, liquid, or gas, and we categorize mixtures as either mechanical mixtures or solutions. With mechanical mixture, that is a mixture where you can distinguish between the different types of particles, either by eye or with a microscope. So if you think of something like trail mix, where you can see the different kinds of nuts, and maybe if you're lucky, there's some like M&Ms in there. If you're unlucky, there might be some raisins. You can see all those different parts. That would be a mechanical mixture. But also any murky or opaque liquid or gas. So any liquid or gas that you cannot clearly see through would also be a mechanical mixture. So things like smoke, like milk, all of those, pudding, anything you can't clearly see through would be a mechanical mixture. Orange juice. A solution is something that will look like a pure substance, even though it's not, because you can't actually tell that there's different particles that are making it up. So that includes any clear liquid or gas. It also includes alloys, which are metal solutions, which I'm talking about now. So if you have pure metals on the periodic table and then you mix them together, you will form an alloy, which is just a type of solution. It's a solid solution. So for example, if you take zinc, which is an element, and copper, which is an element, you will get brass, which is an alloy. And that would be a solution. It's not a pure substance because it is made up of two different types of molecules, zinc molecules and copper molecules. Okay, that is it for today. If you would like to kind of test your knowledge as your homework here, go through these 6 images and write down as examples in your notebook which are mechanical mixtures and which are solutions. None of these are pure substances. So we're going to assume that this picture here is not distilled water. It's like either tap water or bottled water or something like that. Okay. You can also go through this, if you would like, as an example of differentiating between the different states of matter. This one is optional, though. This one is mandatory. I want to see this in your notes. Okay, that is all for today. Let me know if you have any questions.